What is up, you guys? Welcome to day 20. So today I wanted to not only go over time management and helping you be a more effective human that can achieve your goals and do the things, but also maybe not just time management, but time hacking and time help. You know, whenever you feel like you're trying to do all the things, but you don't really have that time. And there's really two ways that you're going to achieve your goals. You're either going to have the time to put into it, or you're going to have the money. There's two resources that are going to get you to your goals. And for most of us, money is the reason why we're doing this. It's to get to that end goal. So most of us have the time aspect on our side, maybe not that much, but that's the one resource that we do have control over. So I'm going to show you today how to get control over it a little bit more. So number one thing that I used to do when I first started my business is I would do something called batching. So whether you are a blogger, small business owner, you're posting on social media, you're creating videos, photos, content, whatever it might be, I still do this to this day where I will batch content. I will sit down on, a day that is less hectic for me. For a lot of us, that's weekends. And whenever I first started my business, that's what it looked like. It was weekends. And so I would actually pack up the car and I would get 7 outfits ready and I would film little workout videos for my Instagram. And back then, Instagram videos were the new thing, and I really wanted to play to that notion of what they wanted us to post, not just photos. So I knew that I needed to be posting videos. I was not confident on video. I'm going to talk to you all about how to post on video, take awesome pictures, but right now I just want you to get in the headspace of getting content out there is better than not. So creating quality content really comes down to giving yourself the time and the permission to do so. And I just think that batching it just makes so much sense. So I would literally go to the park, I would go for a run, I would get outside and film awesome videos that just would be inspiring, a couple workout moves, but I would always film in different outfits so that it looked like a different day. And that was how I did it back then. And you could do this with, batching your Facebook posts or your blog posts or getting content up on your website or on your Instagram, and even prepping some stories for every other day that maybe there's a day this week or in the next coming weeks that you won't be available. That's something that you can prep for and help you with time so that you can still remain consistent. Now you can also schedule out your posts and use a scheduling app. You can preview your posts. We're going to talk all about that with aesthetic and all of that with your brand. But batching content could save you. The other thing that comes down to time is finding those little pockets in your day. So chunking your time, figuring out, okay, through that wheel that we did, that circular clock that we figured out, like where are we leaving time open, that should have given you a really good idea as to where you have open pockets in your day or where sometimes just not accounted for, which ultimately probably means you're not doing anything monumental or needle moving. Or there might be times where you have an hour in the middle of the day, like a lunch break, where you can get an hour of focused time in. So grab your little counter or set the timer on your phone, put it on airplane mode, and commit to doing needle moving activities from that top 3 to-do list of your daily grind during that hour. And you'll be shocked at how much you can move the needle. Usually people, by the way, that have less time are often more effective because they don't take that time for granted. And if you're taking that time for granted, it often means that you're either not really in control of what you're doing in a day, you're not really sure of what you're doing, and doing that time management clock that we did really gives you an idea of where your time is going and where that can be adjusted. The best and final tip I can give you, and this is something that I really had to get better at, is to outsource. So before you kind of turn your nose at me and go, well, I can't afford that, there's literally a website called Fiverr where it's $5 and up. That's how the name was created. There are people from all over the world with all different skill sets, from editing websites to creating content, to editing photos, to editing videos, to writing out blog posts. And they will do that for you. You just put out the job post, you'll get a bunch of different offers, and you can hire someone. That's called a virtual assistant. Ultimately, how cool would it be to have a virtual assistant? And you might think that you don't have the money for it. A couple less trips to Starbucks and you outsourcing certain tasks that you really need help with, but even tasks in the household that you feel like you default to. And that's something that I want you to think about is what are some triggers that you have that when things start to get busy and you have a really important needle moving stuff to do, you almost divert to doing these very non-needle moving activities. For me, that's usually cleaning my closet, doing laundry, cleaning the house, when I don't need to be doing that. So one thing that I did is I kind of hacked my own triggers, and I set one of my first goals in my business to hire a crew to come in and clean our house weekly, so that I knew that when they were cleaning the house, and I worked from home, so I knew that while they were cleaning the house, I'd lock myself in my office, and I better make that time worth it. And that was a huge goal that I stretched for in the beginning. And when you stretch for goals, it's really powerful what happens, because you want to keep that level of standard in your life. So you will almost work to achieve and continue to live that level of standard, especially when you stretch yourself. So outsource. Figure out your triggers and outsource that of what you're spending way too much time doing. Batch your time, chunk it on a day that, you might not be as busy, and you might know that you have a little bit more time to create and put out content, and chunk your time in terms of the little pockets that you have to go hard, like a power half hour for your lunch, and just sending out those emails that need to be sent out, or putting up those posts that need to be put up. And that stuff that actually moves the needle. And when you really sit down and think about it, it's crazy how much you'll be able to accomplish when you're in control of your own time and you have so much clarity on your goals, which you've already gone through. So I hope that this moved the needle for you. Let me know which one you are going to implement. Don't just be the person that sits and acknowledges and grabs all this information and consumes it but never implements it. What are you going to implement that will change the way that you manage your time and give you more freedom ultimately in your life, and move the needle towards you achieving your goals? And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, dude.
Let's go.